It's 2023, it's time to make gains in Marvel Contest of Champions, whether or not you're doing anything for some of these things or something. There are some really decent ways to make gains in Marvel Contest of Champions in 2023. And it's important to think now about these particular things because they're going to be very important for players. There's things like depreciation, which is something I talk about a lot, where something of one value is a certain value 1 year going, oh, a 5-star relic, that's going to be worth X amount of units, you know, about 3k units. But then in the next year, it'll be worth a lot less. Very important for those that want to make further gains in their roster. The same thing can be said for champions, selectors, right the way through to 7-star shards and much, much more. But also there's very new things that have come in or altered things. So the gifting event, which is gone, it was gone in 2021, it was replaced by a new event called the Banquet Event. And the Banquet Event had some better rewards that really elevated rosters. A good example is that Emily, who is my wife, she was able to make some substantial gains as a Conqueror-based account. She's now uncollected now, but at the time she was able to get at least 6, 7, maybe 8 6-stars, and just as I'm recording this video, she's let me know she's got the 6-star Awakening gem. Really? For that kind of low account? That's incredible. But there are so many more things that you can do this year to make gains, whether or not you're willing to put some effort in, no effort in. There's some things coming on this year that are going to be really incredible for players to make gains with their particular account. So the first thing is all about doubloons. In April, we should be seeing the Deadpool spring cleaning. I say that with a bit of a the thing is, a lot of the time when we kind of like hope we're going to see something return back, some of the times it does not. In 2021, Deadpool spring cleaning continued on the kind of general thing, which is it has a spending event but also a free element to it, giving us a certain amount of doubloons, minted doubloons. These particular minted doubloons, as well as an event with it, allowed us to get more doubloons by doing arena based grinding, but also we get to choose some free items in the store. There were some bundles available for us to choose, whether or not there was something of value, sort of a value, and stuff like that. It allowed for a free gain without having to do much in, well, some efforts to it because there wasn't an arena, but, you know, some effort, you'd be able to get some kind of good stuff back. There's also the summoner camp. Now here's the thing, all these events may not return back, but they have to return back in the past. So it is possible that this will be an option, and also we'll be able to look at things of making gains. Did this particular event give substantial gains? Well, it's arguable about that one. There were some nice stuff that was within it. Whether or not it's not a huge amount, but do bear in mind things change over the years. And also there's some helpful things like energy refills, there's things like units on offer. So there are some nice things to pick up, or were some nice things to pick up last year. Especially if you're a Thronebreaker and upwards and looking to pick up things like, well, those dual class crystals, also the 6-star dual class crystals that is, and also those 5-star shards if you're a Cavalier. So, you know, there were some nice things on offer. Not a huge amount, but still enough to go, hey, this is handy for free. But let's not forget when all of those platinum pool based events come in. There for me are like some of the most important ones to go and grind out, especially because of these fabulous crystals, either super fabulous crystals or standard fabulous crystals. All these type of events to come in, whether or not you're getting some rank rewards, whether or not you're working in an arena and getting yourself some milestones, or whether or not, you know, you're popping open some of those crystals, those units, right, are really kind of important for that. It can mean that a low amount of arena grind in these particular areas can get you back a good amount of units for the amount of effort versus doing like a general kind of arena grind to get units back. And that's one of the key things that I do when it comes to arena. Even though this year I might be changing what I do when it comes to arena grinding in favor of something that is on our list of one thing that is really making some gains. But either way, all of these free type of events, or kind of like low effort grind events, are free things, especially when it comes to Kabam giving out things for free, like the kind of anniversary. Like, did we notice this year that we got 6 stars in the anniversary calendar? Also, there's the volume of stuff that you get in the Tis the Season calendar, which again is really kind of cool stuff. So less effort, more grind, or less effort, sorry, and more kind of rewards back. So that's the first thing. Expect these things and also prepare for them being like really kind of like good pushes for any kind of roster. Next thing is Cyber Weekend deals. Last year, what I tried to do was I invested 10,000 units into a completion deal. I then started saving up more units for the Cyber Weekend deals and a little bit more for a Banquet Event push. So that was fine. But I think this year I might try and get myself enough to do July 4th deals, Cyber Weekend deals, and as well something else like maybe Banquet Event, and do a little bit more than I did this year. But, you know, it's very early on in the year. But in any case, Cyber Weekend deals are better than July 4th deals, mainly as they are scope for the depreciation of the year. I'm going to talk about depreciation a lot, again, to kind of point out that the value of something on July 4th, in July 7th, is going to be different in the November Cyber Weekend deals. We've seen this before, where we've had things like a chunk of Tier 3 Alpha, Tier 6 Basic being one value on July 4th, and it's going to be a lot less on Cyber Weekend deals in late November, early December. So it's always something to watch out for. So it's whether or not you are prioritizing units and you're willing to save up units, grind in arena, farm those units, get better prepared for these things. That's going to be the key thing with that one. But it is important to prepare yourself and also look at how much more gains you can make by these particular deals. In any case, a quick example of the depreciation I was referring to is that in July 4th deals, with a spend of total 18,000 units, because rank 4 6-star materials, which were not in the 1, they're not in the 4, they're not in the 10, so therefore spending 18,000 units to get one rank 4 6-star champion versus what was in Cyber Weekend deals last year, 2022, was that you'd only need to spend 2,000 there, 2,000, 3,000 there, so that's 5,000, plus the 5,000 there would kind of give you enough, because you'd unlock it and then go there. So even you were getting more for your unit spend for 10,000 units. So there were some big savings to be had. And the important thing about all of this is roster elevation, what it can do to a roster to improve it, whether or not you're preparing for Battlegrounds, whether or not you are taking on certain content. Preparation is key. Kabam are launching some big content this year. You can either invest in July 4th deals and look at champions that you can elevate. Selectors as well. Specific champion acquisition. These are very important times for players when it comes to these particular deals. Tip number 3 is the Banquet Event. The Banquet Event is indeed one of the best things to come in. And I know people will say, well, it's not really. It is up to a certain point. As I said, like for me, my opinion on this one is that once you reach a certain point where you don't get any milestones, the GBCs, Greater Banquet Crystals, do not become that worthy because of there's nothing to mitigate the RNG factors of the crystal's performance. But the Banquet Event itself is still a great resource for players to make gains. I mean, look, as I said, if my wife, who has an account which is a Conqueror account and now it's an uncollected account, and that is an account in an alliance that's a lot lower, that wouldn't be able to do what like the alliance that I'm in at the moment we're able to do. It's a case like she's picked up a 6-star awakening gem today. That just goes to show you, and as well all those 6 stars she was able to open, just goes to show you what is possible. This Banquet Event really does it, and kind of like is something to massively look forward to for any account, any small account, any baby account, anything, an alt account. Just kind of like look towards the future, look towards and kind of go, oh, I'm not making any gains, I need better champions. Well, prepare for the year. This is the thing why I'm making this video, is just reminding people, prepare for the year. I might make a separate video, but the fact is, prepare for the year. Even putting, like, Kabam gave a load of free points available for players to get. Even today, whilst I'm recording this video, 4 GBCs have been given out. That's 4,000 points. And even by separating out like a little bit of unit grind a year, just to set aside something to go, do you know what? Right, it is possible to get some units and kind of invest into it, can really elevate up what you require from this. So the Banquet Event, in any case, when it comes to some of the rewards, they are pretty good from a solo perspective. The milestone ones, more importantly, units to begin with, 5-star nexuses, GBC, 6-star shards, you know, the list goes on. There's 6-star nexus in there. There's rank 4 6-star materials. Like, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Think like a Conqueror or uncollected players being able to pick up those particular resources and start them on a platform. It really does like show what I was talking about, the idea of depreciation. At the end, a 5-star relic, which is something that a lot of the time I don't know how and why Kabam value these the way they are, but it is what it is. And from Alliance perspective, there's some great take home. So if you're willing to work hard with your Alliance, or kind of say, look, lads, this year, ladies, this year, we're going to be doing a kind of a push. It's possible to put aside about 3k units, 6k units, whatever, and invest into it, and kind of like you can see the results by the end of it. And people are really making some massive gains from this particular event. And you never know, you might get lucky with the GBCs. I'm not saying it will or won't happen, because they are what they are, but still it is possible to make gains with them. Tip number 4 is all about depreciation. Depreciation is a very important topic within Marvel Contest of Champions. I talk about it a lot, and the reason I do talk about it is someone that is stung by depreciation in Marvel Contest of Champions, where you invested in money in a very early stage of the game, and it's then been like, okay, well, then there's you buy into 4 stars. Oh, they're the rarest? No, there's 5 stars. Oh, 5 stars are the rarest? No. You've invested in all your 5 stars. Here's 6 stars. And then there's more things, like the ranking of them. Then there's other things when it comes to signature stones and chasing those. Then there's 7 stars, and now there's relics. It's just an ongoing thing. So sometimes it's better to be non-spending and have no kind of like worries about this kind of stuff. But depreciation is a very important topic, especially when it comes to 6 stars. I feel that 6 stars and 5 stars this year will start depreciating in value, especially when it comes to relics. Now, at the moment, the 5-star relic is still 10,000 in order to get it fully formed. But let's face it, the value of it and how it's valued at the moment is a bit too high, especially for the Paragon progression. I don't know how people feel about it when it comes to Thronebreaker, but yes, I kind of feel like it's too high for what it is. There's something I just highlighted earlier when I was talking about the depreciation of stuff, that Paragon July 4th deals were not good on the value of take home versus what Cyber Weekend deals were on value of take home. It's very important to notice because, you can just kind of chart a course of going, okay, well, a tier 6 basic's worth something this time, but it's going to be worth a lot less a little bit in the future. So it's important to notice that and shift some patterns on values. But also, there could be a new progression title. It is unlikely something like that will be in this year, but I would say with the launch of 7-star champions this year, with a new type of difficulty that will be coming in, like Elder difficulty and stuff like that, I kind of feel like this is going to be like a change. Maybe it's a case that it'll be at the end of Act 8.4, or it's going to be a case of like Act 8.4 and a rank 5 6-star to kind of be allowing yourself to kind of like get the new progression title. As said, I don't know that the Paragon title was only just like entered into the game, but you never know what's going to happen in the future of MCOC. It's honestly a crazy time. And the final tip of how to make gains in 2023 is Battlegrounds. Now, it's something that I've been kind of like dipping my toe into for the first 2 seasons, and I'm now ready for season 4. I've prepared my roster as I've been talking about for a while, and I might make a separate video on this about like a 2-season plan that I had in order to improve my defensive options for Battlegrounds and also get more kind of involved with prepping for metas. Again, that might be the second video of today. But the main thing is gains. Battlegrounds store and Battlegrounds in general actually, and I know it's frustrating, it really is a frustrating game mode at times because Kabam, it does feel like they've still got work to do with it. It's not as bad, but there are some amazing gains that can be had in certain areas, and this is something I'm going to be working towards. I'm very much kind of like on it when it comes to trying to get things bought, especially when it comes to 6-star shards. And if you're preparing yourself for things like, I don't know, going and getting involved with 6-star features, and I would say for those that are non-spending that want to get involved and can't spend the early access bundles, then you may be more inclined to kind of go into the Battleground store, and if you're Cavalier and upwards, kind of grabbing a load of 6-star shards. To give you an idea, I think it was 24 hours ago I was on 0 amount of 6-star shards. I then decided to buy some stuff from here, do incursions, and get my 6-star shards up. So like, what am I up to? I'm not like nearly 60,000 in like 24 hours. It's crazy. It is honestly like, it's crazy sometimes like where this has available to you. And also 6-star signature stones. This is a great way of making gains for that one. Go into the Battleground store, go and spend your trophy tokens and get some gains with that one. Tier 3 alpha, tier 2 alpha, whatever you want to get is there, but I would say that some of these extra value things, it's up to you. I'd look to your stores as well. Like making more gains could be like, okay, well, I give you a good example. I think I started off like about a couple weeks ago. I was always hovering around the like 1.1 mil loyalty mark, and getting involved with Alliance Wars is now up to nearly like 1.5 mil. It's like it'll be up to 1.5 mil probably by the end of the day. So again, like, this is all about looking at these gains, these little gains right here, because then you're able to go, okay, well, I'll buy something in the loyalty store and kind of like either get more rank 4 6-star materials, rank 3 6-star materials, whatever is out there for you to grab that's going to be beneficial for you. Go do it. Use these things. Use these resources and things that Caban put in to make gains. I know some people aren't happy with a lot of the time with what Caban put in, but it's available. And this is what I'm doing as a non-spending player, is trying to dip in between these different things and kind of buy them all, just so I'm able to kind of like make the gains I need to remain competitive, but also get involved with Battlegrounds, because Battlegrounds is pretty good when it comes to giving out some decent rewards if you're willing to put in the effort for it, especially if you're an alliance that are willing to do the same as well. But yeah, those have been my top 5 tips in order to make gains in 2023. I wish you good luck in whatever grind you do, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be a Battlegrounds meta-based video, which I'm looking forward to doing. Check out some other content located on screen right now, and I'll see you all very soon. Much love and goodbye.